Lesson tools. Now, guidelines. As you are writing that step outline, what do you need to keep in mind to make sure you write an effective one that helps you diagnose your story? You guessed that one. POV at the top. POV of the main character if he or she's in the scene. The points that are relevant to the progression of the plot. And that's really important because you're not at this stage going to include establishing shots, for instance. You could, but I'd say that's probably to a later stage just before you're going to write the screenplay. We're still doing story right now. Keep your points concise. What I mean by combine and collapse, where possible, you can collapse certain scenes into one sequence. But you can also expand. If within a scene you have really important moments, you can call those, instead of scene 21 and then all those beats, you can do 21A, 21B, 21C, and so forth. Make sure every action is motivated by an event. That's our basic motto or mantra when we talk about actions and events. Events, if they don't trigger actions, they are non-events. And any actions that are not triggered by events are non-actions or actions that are not motivated. So every action should be motivated by an event. Events create problems, actions resolve them. Make sure everything is written in the present tense. That helps. Every major action or event must be included. I'd say 1 to 3 beats per minute. That's pretty random, but I think it's probably close to what you will find on average. Keep your actions and events roughly in balance. I mean, roughly. This is a bit too strongly stated. They don't have to even out exactly, but if you have significantly less events and actions, it feels unmotivated, and vice versa. If there's too many events and no actions, then you have passive protagonist, remember? So other characters' actions constitute events. So when, suppose we're going back to that step outline form that you saw in the Excel spreadsheet, you have your point of view of Terry. Now, if Evie, the girl, does something that has an impact on him, then that is an event. It may be tempting to make her the point of view and then make it an action, but Terry is the main character, therefore it will be an event from his perspective. So Evie's action becomes an event for him. Don't explain small detail, not in the step outline. Action must to have, we can take out the to. Character must be introduced briefly. What I mean by that is, that's in the case you write a step outline in the way McKendrick and John Colley did. So it needs to make sense for someone who reads this document as a first. Include the ending, and the ending must be clear. Must be at least as clear as it will be on the screen. Really, really important. Okay, I think that's roughly what I believe you need to know about step outlines. I have another example here of the step outline. This is McKendrick's step outline for Toy Story. So this is in sequences, and if you read Paul Golino's book with an analysis of Toy Story, obviously that one has 8 sequences, as you could have imagined. In this case, there are 12. So you see, different people have different approaches. There's no be all and end all. Different people have different entry points and different strategies. And this is clearly a narrative step outline. I'd say, roughly speaking, there are 2 types of step outline. One is the bullet point step outline, which is the internal document that no one else would make sense of. It looks a little bit like that John August one-pager. And then there's the narrative step outline, of which this one is a good example.